This video is going to look at how to find the product of primes in index form. You can have this question either way. It might say write this number as the product of primes, or it might say write this number as the product of primes in their index form. To be on the safe side, if you always write a question asking for the product of primes in index form, then you're guaranteed to get all of the marks. So we'll start with checking our first 5 primes. I would always write down, as soon as you see anything that says product of primes, the first 5, just so you don't lose track of what you're looking for. And we've got 2, 3, 5, 7 and 11. Those are your first 5, the most common ones. We're going to look at how to find 50 as a product of primes. I'm going to show you 2 different methods. The first method is the tree method. So we need to find one of these primes that 50 can be divided by. I'm always going to start with 2 because it's easier to halve anything, especially if you're stressed out in an exam. So 50 is 2 times 25. 2 is a prime, so I can put a circle around it and I know I'm done on that side. 25 isn't, so I need to make another branch underneath. Now 2 doesn't go into 25, 3 doesn't go into 25, but 5 does. So 5 times 5 is 25. Both of these are primes, so I can circle them. I've got no loose ends, so I know I'm done. Writing it as a product of primes then means writing out all of your prime numbers, 2 times 5 times 5. And writing it in index form means using your indices, or just tidying it up. So 2 times 5 to the power of 2. It's a much neater way of writing it, and that will get you the marks. Let's have a look at a slightly different method, and we'll start with 220. So this time, I'm going to draw a line down and a line across. Exactly the same method, just looks a bit different. I'm going to start with 2 again. 2 times 110 is 220. I'm not done yet, so I need to keep going. I can divide 110 by 2. 2 times 55 gives me 110. Still not done. So 2 doesn't go into 55, 3 doesn't, but 5 does. So I'll put the 5 out, and it's 5 times 11. Now I need to keep going until I get the number 1. So 11 is a prime. I put the 11 on the left-hand side, and 11 times 1 gives me 11. Once I've hit 1 here, I know I can stop, and all of these numbers are the primes that I need. So finishing up, because that in itself will not get you the marks, the full marks, we have 2 times 2 times 5 times 11, which is going to fit, there we go, and then tidying it up into index form, there are 2 of the 2's multiplied together, so 2 squared times 5 times 11. That can get you 3 to 4 marks in a GCSE. You can also use it to find highest common factors and lowest common multiples, which we'll look at in another video. On the next slide, there are 2 numbers for you to try yourself. Pick your own method and have a go. So pause the video, have a go on a piece of paper, and come back in a minute to see how you've done. So 75 becomes 3 times 5 squared, and 340, I was a bit mean and was a bit tricky with you because that has 17 in it, so it becomes 2 squared times 5 times 17.